In today's video, we're going to be talking about the market crash that's going to be happening this Friday because of FUT birthday. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So in today's video we're going to be going through loads and loads of different segments from last year and showing you how did they react with FUT birthday, aka how we expect the market reacting this year. We're going to start off with Mbappe, because last year Mbappe was generally the only meta gold card that was an SBC fodder. We're then going to move on to special cards, we'll then move to heroes, icons, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about what cards can you buy that won't drop in price, because basically everything's going to keep dropping in price for the next month, apart from a few certain sort of cards, and we're going to walk through them now. So, to start off, we're going to be talking about Mbappe again. Mbappe sadly was the only meta player. Neymar was fodder, Van Dijk was fodder this time last year. So sadly we don't have many players of, I guess, the price range of like Putellas and I guess Van Dijk this year. So yeah, sadly we only have Mbappe to work with. Now, FUT birthday occurred on the 24th. I can show you this by showing you players that were released last year. You see right there, FUT birthday Chakwizi, who is part of Team 1, was released on Friday the 24th of March. As a result, that is going to be the day we're going to be using and seeing what happened to the market. So we can see right here with Mbappe, we can see Friday the 24th here is 600k. Now, I think due to potentially just the price of Mbappe, we didn't actually see too much movement early on. We only saw him drop 20k after the first weekend league, and then after the second weekend league it was a little bit worse. We have the second week of FUT birthday starting here, where he was 592k, and we can see he dropped from 592k down to 500k. So again, I don't think this is going to be too representative of the cheap metas this year. Again, maybe Hansen if she's not fodder, Putellas, Van Dijk. I think that's generally only it. Again, we have Mbappe. But what we saw is we saw a minor drop in the first week. Again, I think for the cheap stuff, this is going to be more of a major drop. And then we saw a drop after that. One of the most relevant points here is that there wasn't really a buyback. As in, like, the card didn't really rise for any point of time, apart from the Wednesday of FUT birthday Team 2 through to the Friday of the promo then. But then he just dropped. And basically he just dropped and dropped. He held for, I think this is the first week of Team of Season, and then he just crashed. So, what does that mean is going to happen with your gold cards? Basically, from this Friday, they're just going to drop and drop and drop. You might get a midweek rise Wednesday to Friday, but the amount they're going to rise is going to be nothing in comparison to what they've dropped. So that is gold cards. Gold cards should just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. No real buyback. If there is a buyback, it's Wednesday to Friday, but that's only really to use in Weekend League, not as an investment. But yeah, gold cards. Now time to move on to cheap special cards. So now getting underway with special cards, just kind of looking at special cards anywhere from the 70k range to about the 200k range, and let's go and show you how they did. So going into the weekend of FUT birthday, Dembele went from 84k down to 71k. This would have been in panic selling. Now interesting enough, after FUT birthday started, he went from 71k up to 78k. So because he basically dropped 14k in a few days, he actually managed to rebound 8k. Well, after weekend, so after weekend league, he then went from 78k down to about 70k in 1 week, and then the second week went from 70k down to 76k, and then went down. So again, not much of a, well, there was a lot of panic selling the week before FUT birthday. He then rebounded for the weekend league of FUT birthday, and then went down and down and down every week. And then if we look at Park Ji-sung, see relatively the same sort of trends, to be honest. Before FUT birthday, he was 90k. Going into FUT birthday, he got panic sold down to 70k. Then he rebounded back up to 73k, nothing crazy. But then after the second weekend league sell-off of FUT birthday, went from 70k down to 50k. So even though he held price because of how much he got panic sold, he did go and drop the following weekend. We can then look at Equator, same sort of trend here. We can see before the weekend league of FUT birthday, FUT birthday, he was 76k. Got panic sold down to 56k, but then as soon as FUT birthday happened, he rebounded to 66k, then held his value to the second weekend league of FUT birthday to 70k, and then he dropped after that. So again, the trend, what it seems to be, is that it's panic selling of about 20%, rebound about 10% just for weekend league, then after that weekend league, and then after 1 week, so again, like They rebounded to for Weekend League. They then held for a whole week and then dropped the Weekend League after. So for Weekend League with Team 2. Dirt count, same sort of trend here. 290k. Got panic sold down there to 224. Rebounded there to 250. Got panic sold after the second Weekend League. Is that it for the cheap cards? No, Bruno Guimaraes, 187k. Got panic sold down there to 160k. Rebounded up there to about 180k. Then another rebound and panic selling, but then again, after the second Weekend League, we saw it drop. So the drop was way bigger after the first Weekend League than the second Weekend League. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you some of the top end special cards and show you how they reacted during FUT Birthday. Now to show you how some of the top end cards reacted, we've got Bellingham, Mbappe, Ibrahimovic and Luka Modric. So let's start off here with Zlatan. So we can see going into FUT Birthday, he was 3.6 million. Then he got panic sold down to 3.3, small rebound, but then just kept going down. There was basically no signs of rebound until I believe maybe after Community Team of the season. But yeah, basically kept on going down, no signs of rebounds, dropped literally, would have been 1 or 2 days ago, and keeps dropping through for another month. We look at Modric, again, same sort of thing here, went from 1.5 million, then got panic sold down to 1.3 million, did manage to rebound 1.4 million, but then just kept dropping without failure for generally best part of a whole month. Finally, Mbappe was extinct at 15 million. Then again, the weekend before FUT Birthday, or sorry, the week before FUT Birthday, dropped from 15 million down to 13.6 million. Did rebound a little bit for FUT Birthday, but then after week 2 of FUT Birthday, he just dropped every single week, all the way through to maybe Team of the Season most consistent, and then maybe drop for his Team of the Season. So again, just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping. And finally, Jude Bellingham, we can see the weekend before Team of the Season, he was 3.1 million. Got panic sold down there to 2.8 million. Actually had pretty flat trends, which goes against the trends of the other ones. Held his value till mid-April, but then crashed quite heavily there. So slightly different trend. Wouldn't want to gamble on Bellingham's trend. I'd more want to gamble on Mbappe, Modric and Zlatan's trend, and that's that we get top end cards during FUT Birthday, therefore the top end promo cards get panic sold, and therefore again between literally FUT Birthday and all the way through to Team of the Season, so I wouldn't really want to be having those cards. Now we're going to get on to top end hero cards. Top end hero cards, we've got something like Ginola. The week before FUT Birthday got panic sold from 1.4 million down to 1.1 million. We can see rebounded there to 1.2 million. But then just got panic sold pretty heavily after the second Weekend League and dropped yet another 300k. So again, just because they drop 400k does not mean they can't go and drop 300k the weekend after. Just because they drop 300k doesn't mean they can't go and drop another 200k the weekend after. Just because they go 200k doesn't mean they can't go and drop another 170k the weekend after. Just because they drop 170k, you get the trend. Like the cards keep going down. Just because they drop doesn't mean they're entitled to rebound. Interesting trend on Capita Vila, went from 830k, got panic sold down to 720. Did actually rebound for the first Weekend League of FUT Birthday, but then presumably there was a way better left back in the weekend too. So again, even though he rebounded 120k, during the next 2 weeks he then proceeded to drop 200k and then another 70k. And again, kept on dropping, but did rebound 1 month later, probably due to FUT Birthday. Sorry, Team Season not replacing anything. Now what we're going to do is talk about live cards, aka your FUT Fancy cards. How did these cards react during FUT Birthday last year? Now I'm going to cover Road Final cards, because surely Road Final cards, because they're live cards, are going to hold value. No, I went through absolutely loads of them, even the ones that I believe got to like the finals and so on and so on. So let's go through them. There's the Road Final team. Goretzka crashed the weekend before FUT Birthday. And then again for FUT Birthday, crashed, held for week 2, but then just crashed there. Boom. Alaba crashed the weekend before FUT Birthday. FUT Birthday is here, actually rebounded a little bit, actually proceeded to then hold, which is interesting. So I guess maybe some of the road finals that are in it, as long as they crashed heavily the week before, they actually held. We look at Mora, crashed about 2 weeks before FUT Birthday. FUT Birthday came out here, and then he proceeded to hold. Likes of Martial crashed very heavily before FUT Birthday, but then managed to rebound and hold for the first week of FUT Birthday, but then kind of didn't hold very well for the second week of FUT Birthday. Bobby Firmino, we can see here, crashed because he was probably out of the competition. FUT Birthday hit here, and he kind of just went down in price. And is that all she wrote? That's all she wrote. So overall trend with those cards is cards that are still in it do have a higher chance of holding. They're not guaranteed to. I mean, none of them went up anything impressively, so if you have them as an investment, I wouldn't want to be in them because there's more risk than not. I'd say they're less risky than promo cards, less risky than top end promo cards, but still, for the cards that are still in the competition, but still wouldn't recommend them as an investment because overall they just weren't very positive trends. Now moving on to FUT Fancy cards, and from what I've briefly just researched, these actually had really decent trends, although apparently not for Sanchez. Sanchez, we can see FUT Birthday was here, and he just kind of went down and down and down each week. Barahima, we can see March, there we go, dropped the week before FUT Birthday, but then happily rose during FUT Birthday. So from what I deduct, it's basically that FUT Birthday didn't really have any impact on these cards. They just kept following the flow of if they won, they went up. If they didn't win, they went down. Because if we go to take out Sanchez, can I get the two? Yeah, there you go. If we get Saliba, we can see Saliba went from 820k to 1.2 million in the week of FUT Birthday. So I don't really think they cared too much about FUT Birthday. I'd imagine they get panic sold more if they're favourable outcomes that don't work in their favour. For example, I don't know, let's say Newcastle had to go and play against Luton, and they lost against Luton. I'd say because the rest of the special card market's dropping, we'd expect to see bigger drops, but just because FUT Birthday is occurring and the market's dropping, it doesn't mean these cards aren't rising when they're getting the wins. Again, that would have been the week before FUT Birthday, and this literally is him rising throughout the whole of FUT Birthday. Maybe a drop there during Team 2. So, FUT Fancy cards, I wouldn't say you really have anything to worry about, but I would say if you are gambling on the players, if you are gambling on the players following favourable outcomes, if they don't go and get those favourable outcomes, the crash seems to be pretty heavy. But yeah, they seem to hold a lot better price than the average promo card. Okay, so we checked Dino, and Dino the weekend before FUT Birthday went from 6.4 down to 5.9, but actually held value during the whole of FUT Birthday. Definitely tailed off towards the end of it, but comparatively to promo cards of his price, he held value. And the Team Year 1 that was extinct at 15 million, how did this card react? Yeah, I mean, this card actually didn't go back on the market because it was generally just so rare even during FUT Birthday. Interesting. Then we check out the likes of Team Year Sabio. We can see before FUT Birthday he was 3 mil. Going into FUT Birthday he was 2.6 million. Then went down to 2.5 million and then proceeded to drop and drop and drop. We look at Prime Sabio just to see if the price differences had much of an effect. And again, no. Before FUT Birthday was 1.8 million. Then got panic sold down to 1.4 million before FUT Birthday. Kind of then half held 1.4 million, but was never overly progressive and then just dropped and dropped and dropped. And then we'll go and check out Baby Sabio. Baby Sabio, we can see before FUT Birthday was 2.4 million. Got panic sold down there to 2 million. Held 2 million for the first week of FUT Birthday. And then for the second week of FUT Birthday started to tail off, especially going into Team Titans. Now just checking out some Zanetti, just because again I'm trying to get my head around what happened with these icons. Before FUT Birthday he was 1.3 million, got panic sold down to 1.1 million, then rebounded to 1.2 million and dropped off with week 2. Then we look at the Plebby Prime Zanetti. Week before FUT Birthday he was 480k, then he got panic sold down to 420k. Managed to hold 440 and then dropped after. So actually really interesting trends with icons and not what I expected. They went against the trend of the rest of them, where actually they got panic sold so much the week before FUT Birthday that they kind of all rebounded for the first week of FUT Birthday or held price and then went down. So again, live cards and icons so far are the safest cards to have. But don't expect any of them going up. Not unless they've been very heavily panic sold. Like, they drop the least and they hold in comparison to other promo cards. So far on our roster of players you can go and buy who, don't seem to be too bad during FUT Birthday are icons and live cards. Although, you understand with live cards you're kind of gambling. But another sort of card that was really nice during FUT Birthday was, believe it or not, FUT Birthday cards themselves. For example, we can see Emerson Royale was the cheapest here on the Wednesday. And again, I'll make a video regarding the best FUT Birthdays to go and invest in later in the week. We can see that he went down there to 85k, but rebounded to 120k. Again, promo cards weren't having this sort of rebound during this time. And this basically occurred for a lot of the cheap ones. We can see Müller went down to 67k, but then rebounded up there to 90k. We can then check out Lafont. Lafont went down to 40k, rebounded up there to 50k. Zinchenko wasn't quite cheap enough, neither was doing Nunez. Chikwueze, we see Chikwueze went down here to 21k, went all the way up there to 32k. We can see Yerry Mina, not a crazy trend on the likes of Yerry Mina, but still 13k, managed to get himself up to 16k. So same sort of thing here, 14k, managed Managed to get himself up to 17k in not much time. But it wasn't for all the cards. So if I can go and load up some of the more expensive ones, we can see Marquinhos actually didn't have the most negative trend. Went 560 to 600, but then after week 2, it was pretty ropey. Bernardo Silva, and this is kind of the trend with a lot of the top-end cards during FUT Birthday. They kind of held value for the first week, but then as soon as there are new toys, aka Team 2 FUT Birthday, they kind of just went down and down and down. So, yeah, basically your threshold was about maybe 100, 150k FUT Birthday players. Other than that, there was just either no money or they just held. So again, held for the first week, dropped when Team 2 came out. Darwinzi Núñez, this was, this is why you don't want to get in the expensive cards. Just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. That's the Monday of Team 2. Held for a bit and then dropped all the way to 400k. So this guy literally went from 1 million coins to 400k in about 3 weeks. That is semi-normal for promo cards, but it just shows you don't want to get in the expensive ones. Again, no positive trends there because he's expensive. Koke, believe it or not, cheaper for birthday. Went from 30k all the way up there to 40k. So just a consistent trend. And regarding the icons, the cheap icons didn't do very well. You see, just dropped and dropped and dropped. No positive trends. Puskas just dropped and dropped and dropped. No positive trends. Eric Cantona. There we go. Dropped and dropped and dropped. Not really any positive trends right there. Lothar Matthias. Boom. Just kept on dropping. Best. You can see just kept on dropping. And Coman actually did have a bit of a positive trend, but was against the grain really. So I wouldn't really want to get in those cards. So that basically is every sort of card and how it reacts during FUT Birthday. Gold cards, rubbish. Cheap promo cards, rubbish. Expensive promo cards, rubbish. Expensive live cards, not a good investment, but pretty safe. Icons, they don't go up in price, but they don't drop as much. And then finally, FUT Birthday cheap cards, 100 to 150k, great investments next week. Expensive FUT Birthday cards and basically any FUT Birthday icons, rubbish investments. That's about going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching. Again, we'll have loads of investment videos. Plan on double uploading every single day at the moment. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.